Nigeria, with the exceptions of a few countries such as China, India, Indonesia, Nepal, Thailand, and Vietnam. The production and commercialization of medicinal and aromatic plants are still at the infant stage in Nigeria. The implication of this is that Nigeria is yet to harness opportunities in this financial system. On this edition of your regular program, Business and Economy, an expert in alternative medicine and the managing director, African Alternative Medicine Worldwide, Professor Ben AMODU is our guest, who will be joining us after the business news to take a look at medicinal plants production potentials, utilization, and marketing functions. We'll be back shortly.
328 million stocks were transacted by investors on the nation's domestic bourse at the last session, valued at 8.9 billion naira across 8,688 deals. Julie PLC led the gainers table with a profit of 10%, followed by Transcorp and International Energy Insurance, improving with 9.96% and 9.66%. However, Deep Capital PLC was top on the laggards, depreciating with 10%, followed by Tourist Company of Nigeria and Compira Warehouse Group, depreciating with 9.86% and 9.09%. In volume terms, United Bank for Africa, Access Holding, and Zenith Bank dominated the general activity level with 63 million stocks, 32 million stocks, and 21 million stocks. During the session, all share index and market capitalization of listed equities improved by 0.13% to close at 104,256 units and 59 trillion naira. Meanwhile, the naira sells on the I&E window for 1,410 naira to the dollar, 1,792 naira to the pound sterling, and 1,695 naira to the euro. Ile Emeje, ASO Television News.
Our guest, the Managing Director, African Alternative Medicine Worldwide, Professor Ben AMODU, is already seated with me in our studio, and he's going to take a look at how to harness herbal medicine as a gold mining for economic development of the nation. Doctor, I want to welcome you to the program.
Yes, I thank you very much for inviting me to this program. Before I will say anything, I want to thank the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, who is also the Governor of the Federal Capital Territory, because he's autonomous. And he's also the President of FCT. For me, and he has performed credibly well. And we want to partner with him on this particular topic.
We are also proud of him.
Yes.
All right, thank you for that. Medicinal plants is a gold mine considering the benefits derivable from its use across the world. And then countries like China, India, and Indonesia have raked trillions of dollars, like you heard in the introduction. Where is our place or position as a country in this regard?
Before I enter here, I'd like to give a perspective to your preamble.
Okay.
You are very, very correct in all the preamble you've given. We usually go by WHO. As I speak, WHO's analysis of herbal medicines in terms of fund generation from that sector is $201.06 billion by 2022, projected to $216.40 billion by 2023, also still projected to $371.45 billion. And finally, by the US projection, to $5 trillion by 2050.
5 trillion what?
$5 trillion herbal trade. with the country China, India, Turkey, Vietnam, Indonesia, and all of them who first started with their own traditional medicine the way they were. They refused to look anywhere, continuously develop, and there is no disquietness in any of their sector. All of them are with one voice because they know what they are going to achieve. That is where we are. Do you know that 45.08% of what I've just said is within warehouse in the European sector? Of what we have the natural endowment that we can compete with them favorably. We have 45.08% of this business I have just read out, of the $371.5 trillion. 45.08% of it is within the European countries. Whereas, with the research work I am doing, and the ones my other colleagues who are not here now doing, we can compete favorably. And I give my reasons.
How?
Now, there are so many areas in the modern medical parlance that cannot be penetrated in terms of treatment. One of such areas is glaucoma, cataract, watery eye, allergic red eye, blurring eye, short-sightedness, long-sightedness, can be taken care of by mere use of either medication in form of capsules, tea, or even drops.
Herbal.
Yes, and this is where people speak with both sides of their mouth, that until you do operation. To verify this, the Honorable Minister can send to me any bad case of glaucoma, which is a kind of intraocular pressure of the eye that makes the eye to become blood or covered up or whatever. We clear it in a matter of 1 week. And the person will come to the program to report. Free treatment. That's one gone by. Our research covers communicable and non-communicable diseases. If you have been following WHO report, this is the area that has bothered WHO for a very long time. As at last year, 36 million people died globally as a result of non-communicable disease. And WHO did warn the world that it is going to progressively increase. As I speak, it is now 41 million deaths. Number one cause of death in the entire world. Generating 74% the cause of death in the world is due to non-communicable diseases. My area of research is communicable and non-communicable. Communicable has to do with issues of HIV 1 and 2, hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E, tuberculosis, bubonic death, COVID, Zika virus, and all the other viruses. I am into this research in the last 37 years. So we did not wake up just yesterday because my father is a herbalist, my mother is a herbalist. No, I don't have any of them in those areas. I'm a trained pharmacist. I left ABU 7980, graduated, and I wanted to do my own medicines. But I had WHO saying modern medicine may soon become an issue, that the new sets of medicine will come from Herbal, and I switched.
Orthodox.
Yes.
Orthodox will become
will become a thing of the past. And coupled with the preaching of Madam Elizabeth Kafaru that there's no disease that God did not create a solution from nature. May her soul rest in peace.
Yeah, she's dead.
She actually encouraged me in this research. And HIV, the coming of HIV was the major factor why I entered this research. And to God be the glory today. There was a HIV conference, World HIV Conference, 15 years ago. We went to the Nigerian authority, NACA. How do you help us go to this conference? They molested us. They didn't answer us well. And we were always determined. What did I do? We put an email to the national headquarters of the conference. We want to attend this conference. We went to our NACA. This is what they say. Say, no, don't bother yourself. Don't go to any NACA. Go online. Show us the level of HIV research you are doing and answer those questions. Once you have reached those levels, we are comfortable. We will admit you. And that's exactly what we did. And what happened? We were admitted. I will tell you more stories. As we were admitted, my team traveled to New York. And surprisingly, there was a world tour of stands, and the Nigerian groups were coming. Suddenly they saw Herbal Herbal. Say, these people are here again. In fact, my team recorded the reaction of the DG. These people are here. We will be here because we are doing the work. And that work that we have done has resulted today to a number of kiosks. We don't need to tell ourselves lies. These are verifiable facts. We have a number of kiosks. That's not the matter for discussion today, but it is good to put it on record.
All the time.
Yes. So, with HIV/AIDS by the side, which we are already getting response, India has, some patients has written us from India wanting to take the medication. Then you are talking of hepatitis that is killing now 3,500 people daily. Hepatitis A, B, and C. But the B and C are the most prevalent. For hepatitis, as far back as 2012, Burj Arab Hotel, the hotel on the sea in Dubai, I was invited and given an award as the African Scientist of the Year 2012 because of my singular discovery of a cure for hepatitis B and C, which has been published. 2012, Burj Arab Hotel in Dubai. That is where I was given the award, as far back as 2012. And this thing is published. That is another area. Then you talk about a large heart. A large heart. Heart that is enlarged.
Heart enlargement.
Heart enlargement does not cost less than $100,000. And it involves a complicated open heart surgery. It takes such a long time. Many people end up dying. But this is what can now be resolved in Nigeria within 7 days. These are very serious research, scientific work. Leave the heart enlargement alone. The prevailing kidney diseases that you wake up every day on AIT, you see 5-10 patients begging for 30-40 million. I have been here with you before of a kidney, 2 kidney condemned that I was interviewed here with the patient who is a journalist. He's still there, he's still alive, Mr. George, recall. We reverse kidney end disease. It's a major issue coming up all over the world. It could come as a secondary issue to high BP, which is not well managed, to diabetes, which is not well managed, to hepatitis, and many other diseases. They come as a first disease. If they are not managed, the patients slip into kidney end disease. What we do with the people we treat for BP, diabetics, we give them something to avoid them slipping into kidney end disease, which involves lack of enough blood, accumulation of urea in the bloodstream, and accumulation of creatinine. And all our research work, which is based on food, has solutions for all this. And sickle cell, a non-communicable disease. By the way, non-communicable diseases are diseases which we grow into as we journey on this earth. Hypertension, diabetes, cancer, stroke, chronic kidney disease, asthma, arthritis, ulcer. These are the gamut of diseases referred to as non-communicable diseases. And as I gave you an explanation before, it is responsible for 74% global death as per WHO this year. 41 million deaths. And these deaths are happening in low and medium income countries, which include us, Nigeria, Asia, and what have you. So we need to arise 74%. It will go to 100% in no time. And we have simple solutions that has been got into our research work. So if we partner with the Minister of FCT in these areas that we have monopoly over, I can say, we will have people roving around Abuja, coming for their medical attention from all over the world. And Abuja will form the fulcrum of very critical treatment in the herbal sector for Nigeria, Africa, and indeed the entire world. Because some of these things like heart, like cure for asthma, like pile, COVID, which we wrote letter to government that we can cure. They didn't believe in us. They went to Madagascar to spend 11 million euro. The items have been destroyed now. They're not fit for human consumption. But our cure of COVID is right there on the internet. Everybody can see it. I just treated a woman who became invalid as a result of COVID, 72-year-old, and we were to treat her for 6 months. We are only 3 weeks now. She called me and said, all the issues have been resolved, and she's 10 years younger now. I said, that is the anti-aging effect of this drug. And if you go to the internet, they are talking of issues of anti-aging all over the world. We have our own 72-year-old testimony, which we are going to put on the internet any moment from now, to show the anti-aging effect. So people will come to Nigeria, and the ever hard-working minister will take a very good credit for opening up to what WHO has agreed on. So it's not something that is not agreed on. WHO has agreed on this.
Oh, it is true that Nigeria and indeed Africa is blessed with medicinal plants that can handle a lot of ailments, which the orthodox medicine cannot. How has the government or private investors taken advantage of this over the years?
This is the partnership we are talking of to bring all those things up. I have almost answered all these questions you have raised. If issues like heart can be resolved in this manner, if issues of creatinine, urea, and kidney failure, it's even better to treat kidney this way because it will last longer. A transplanted kidney lasts maximum 10 years. A kidney that has been revived back to its original function will last the number of years God wanted it to last. So it will not behave like an artificial one. Or is it asthma you are talking about? I watch TV Joshua's channel, and I see people who come for asthma treatment dressed like military men, carrying some bags in front and at the back. And I hear the interview. Why are you carrying all this? Say there are devices for treating asthma. The asthma will start within 1 to 2 months. The patient is all right. He doesn't know where his Ventolin inhaler is. He doesn't know where his salbutamol tablets are.
But one of the setbacks in the use of herbal medicine is the inappropriate dosage and lack of scientific proof. What can you say about that is what has discouraged a lot of people. They say if you are fighting with Satan, he tries to give you what is not doable, so that they can. This is the usual language. It's an old language, not with the setup with NAFDAC. NAFDAC is doing a lot of good work. Okay.
Even though they don't test the efficacy of the product, people like me, the efficacy is number one I treat. Like I spoke on HIV/AIDS. What did I do first? I subjected my so-called vaccine to a university. Test it and see if it has vaccine effect. And
what was the result?
Confirmed. The whole result is on the internet. 6 months, nobody has criticized us. All the professors in the world, they enter their mega lab. We enter our forest and get products to neutralize their mega lab. Nobody has criticized us. And so far, the vaccine has passed. Even when those who were not given vaccine, the animals, started having HIV, we used the combo for curing HIV, gave it to them, and they came back to life. It's there on the internet. African Alternative Medicine Hospital. And people can contact me on my phone if need be to ask some clarification. 08037 899 735.
You're going to pay for that?
I will. 08037 899 735.
Okay, as a pharmacist, which you are, there is this subtle disagreement between the orthodox medicine and medicinal plant promoters in Nigeria. Meanwhile, in other climes, both practitioners operate per se. Why is it not the same thing?
No, it's going to happen. Anything that is new, you know, these type of issues can come up once in a while. There is no visible, there may be some feelings and all that. It's normal for a stage you have dominated for a very long time. When new things are coming, it has some hiccups here and there until it gets to the level. As for the dosing and whatever, NAFDAC, I take my preparation like my Sabmal is 500 milligram. It's standardized. I take my SAB is 300 milligram, it's standardized. So this issue of standardization, with the coming of NAFDAC doing their due diligence on all the products before they give a listing approval, we don't have those issues again. These were the old issues when they talk about AGBO and all those things. Those issues are no longer there. The products on the market are well standardized. And for me, all my products, the first thing I do is efficacy. If this thing is for hepatitis, does it cure hepatitis? Please help me run it in the lab. And I have my laboratory run result. For HIV, I have. For diabetics, I have. For hypertension, I have. That these materials have active ingredients that can bring down the blood pressure.
Okay, let's look at the economic aspect of all of this alternative medicine. How do you think that the value chains in alternative medicine can help to improve the Nigerian economy, especially in the area of employment generation and also increasing our revenue?
It's huge, just like what I have read. If in 2022, WHO projected sales to $201.06 billion, which has been projected to $371.45 billion. If our cassava farms, cassava generates a lot of byproducts. There's an eye product I have recently done now, coming through cassava. The extracts I get from cassava, the leaf of cassava can increase blood level. The guava tree, the cashew nut, huge. They can even prolong life. Cashew nuts and other nuts, even including your palm kernel nuts, even in the management of HIV/AIDS. So many things are there. So the value chain, as we get used to get to farm, and then we have off-takers for this farm, which we can use them for what I'm telling you now. A lot of people will be engaged, will be forced to engage, because the unit cost selling of cassava and other food items now have skyrocketed. That will motivate them, but government needs to whip them into the farm, provide them the basic materials for work and all that, and they'll become interested. And as they become interested, government should also follow up with as an end taker of their products, and industries like ours can use them, and in link with government, we must produce these things, use them locally here, export some of them, and bring the naira at dollar value. Our intake so far, for what I read, $50 million compared to 301 or $5 trillion that the US is projecting. And 45.08% of this business, according to WHO, is cornered by the European countries. And I don't know of a number of products manufactured from there that can take care of these critical areas I have just discussed with you. Because before Mugabe died, the wife traveled to Far East from his country to do a fibroid operation. He could have come to our Nikon here and we supply our fibroid combination. She stays there, enjoy herself. Within the shortest time, the fibroid gets dissolved, even without me touching her or anybody touching her. How sweet will that be? And Nigeria will have money made from there, the tax they have paid, so many things. And even our respect in the Committee of Nations.
In all of this, enlightenment campaign is very critical. What have you people, the practitioners in this sector, what have you done to enlighten?
That's what we are doing gradually coming to your center like this. You are well heard all over the world. And I sat yesterday and I got a text message from India that he wants to join in my HIV program because somebody who has bought the new one, he said he's on ART, but he has 5 challenges, even while on the free government drug. 1, he's not eating well, he doesn't have appetite, he has continuous cough, he has general bad, what do you call it, health. The outlook of his health is bad. And what happened? The drug he has bought is just 2 months now, and he said all these 5 signs have disappeared. And that is what we posted on the internet. And you can see it has gone viral as I speak with you. The guy also bought for sickle cell. He said the crisis of the child has disappeared. Sickle cell is not believed anywhere in the world it can be cured.
Now, it has always been said that seeing is believing, or when there is a test and a proof, everybody will believe. Now, for the sake of those that are following us on the program, like you said, if the minister of the Federal Capital Territory can bring somebody that is having maybe one of these ailments and whatever, you treat them for free, assuming that one of our followers or audience will come up to say that he or she has so and so, will you be glad enough to give a free treatment to test the efficacy of these drugs that you have?
I have said this on the internet, that we are looking for any bad case of HIV. It's usually they lie down, they don't even move. They lie down on the bed, not moving. That's the bad worst case scenario. It's not moving. We will bring the person back to normalcy.
With herbal medicine?
With our combo for curing HIV/AIDS. And this is for free. I did it on social media. I say anywhere in the world I should be presented. And the same challenge goes to the Honorable Minister. Since he controls a number of hospitals, he can tell his health secretary that there's a challenge. They should get in touch with the guy, and I'm willing to do this without any issues.
Now, I was talking about this subtle disagreement between orthodox doctors and plant alternative medicine practitioners. And you know, orthodox medicine practitioners have listed some diseases that you mentioned, some of them, that are termed incurable, whereas such terminal sicknesses can be successfully handled with the use of medicinal plants. Why is it that the orthodox doctors have not seen the need to conduct a search in this claim? Let me just use an example to buttress my question. You know, there was one time in simple geography where somebody came up to say that the earth was formed on a round, like a football shape, a round shape, and everybody believed that the earth is made up of it's like a size of a football shape. Then after so many years, another person came, an expert, and came out and said that no, the earth is not round but spherical. And then he came up with his proof. He had the proof and made everyone in the world to believe that the earth indeed is spherical. And now every one of us is made to believe that the earth is spherical. Like I said, there was the first proof that made people to believe that the earth is in round shape, and the later proof, which we all now believe that the earth is spherical. So now, why is it that orthodox doctors have not seen the need to conduct a search into all of this?
Well, the assurances I want to give is not that they don't want. They are the leader of the medical team, and we give them respect. They are the leader. With approval of WHO, the practice of herbal medicine has come to stay. And we want that arrangement. They are still the leader. We continue to forge ahead. This is the new situation we find ourselves. All over the world, everybody has adjusted. If you enter some hospitals in Ghana, in China, do you want to go herbal, orthodox, or whatever? And they answer you according to your choices. So there's no need for any... Yes, in bickering. And before President Jonathan left, I think there were some arrangements about some herbal committees were set up. I was a member of one of such committees, and some of our universities have started doing herbal medicines and all that. So with time, all those things will fizzle out. I think it is a developmental thing. We're passing through that stage, and in no time, everything will sort out itself.
Somebody may ask and say that with such collaboration which you are envisaging, do we have hope of having such arrangement in Nigeria, where somebody will walk into the hospital and you have the choice of whether to go auto?
It's not a big deal. It's a doable thing. Yes, why not? It's something doable. It's something doable. People will always go to where they will get maximum, they will get a solution. You know, so the earlier we do such a thing, the better for us. The earlier, the better for us. Because if you look at the number of deaths now, in the last how many months, I've cured more than 6 breast cancer issues. Melted, you know, cancer never melts. It's always strong. But when we start our medication, it starts softening up. Cancer never softens up. Always hard. You know. So
what assurance are you giving to us in the area of the inadequate dosage and the research that you have made on this?
No, that has been settled. As I told you now, anybody presenting his documents, you have to dose it. You have to standardize them before NAFDAC walks through it.
Okay.
And those standards and standards that have been stated would be used by NAFDAC to test it in terms of the toxicological reactions and all that.
And how far have you gone with NAFDAC?
My products are listed. From time to time, they will visit. We are renovating now, bringing in more equipment from Proda, the company in AMODU, since we are getting ready to expand.
Okay.
So NAFDAC is doing a fantastic job.
So looking at the value chains, because my concern also is for employment generation.
No.
Looking at the value chains.
I agree with you. That value chain.
Eligible. Is it only those that are red pharmacists or those
No. This is for Herbal.
Venture into it?
It's complementary and alternative medicine. Maybe you need a primary school, secondary school level of this thing. Any of the schools that are doing it, you can hook on to Nigeria Medical Manufacturing Company under Ministry of Science and Technology. You can go and do your course there. You can do it with some other institutes that are listed on the internet.
Okay.
And once you are qualified, they give you the basic training there.
All right. With an effective collaboration between the herbal practitioners and the government, we are expecting an improvement of the Nigerian economy. We'll take a break now and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Means cover.
We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed intolerance, insensitivity, bigotry, and nepotism to blind our vision of the greatness we can achieve working together as one. We may not have the same culture, nor religion, nor language, but we all belong to the same nation by the divine will of God. We did not choose to be Nigerians. Nigeria chose us. This nation is our divine heritage, and if we open our eyes, we would realize that what divides us pales in comparison to what unites us. And by the comparison and conciliation of our differences, we will grow until our differences disappear. Our unity cannot be willed by mere declarations, nor do we get unity by ignoring the questions that beg for answers. We must celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our unity. Our strength is not in our numbers, but in our unity. because even the weak become strong when united. Nigeria unite.
This message is brought to you by Abuja Broadcasting Corporation, owners and operators of ASO Radio 93.5 FM Abuja, ASO Television DSTV Channel 392, Star Times Terrestrial Channel 127, Free TV Channel 507, People's TV Channel 285, and UHF Channel 38.
You are on to your regular program, Business and Economy, and our focus on this edition is harnessing herbal medicine, a gold mining for the development of the country. Our guest is the Managing Director, African Alternative Medicine Worldwide, Professor Ben AMODU. Prof, before we went on the break, you were making an analysis of some diseases which are termed terminal diseases by orthodox doctors, and one of them is the issue of prostate cancer and all cancers of all sorts. How far have you gone with the discovery on cancer? Because they say health is wealth. If we can go over all of these diseases, I believe that we have a wealthy nation like Nigeria.
Yeah, this is a good question. As far back as 12 years ago, some American scientists visited my lab
in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, and said, "They're here. I have a cure for cancer." And I said yes. And they demanded for some samples, and I gave them 5 samples. And I didn't travel with them. They went straight to their state, the US. On landing, they drove straight to one of their biggest university, the University of Texas, where they went straight to analyze to see maybe I lied to them. The first cancer might be due to preponderance of that cancer was cancer of the colon. They tested my sample and got 89 to 90%
efficacy.
Yeah, this report is on the internet under Experimental Biology 2025. So they did it, and that's the result they got. While they were looking at the experiment, they saw that the thing cannot cure only that cancer, that it cures another cancer, lung cancer. And they subjected the same, did a model for lung cancer, applied it, and they got the same report, 89 to 90. It's published for both lung cancer and for the other cancer. And specifically, the product is SAPFAT6. Now, they got a stage 4 cancer patient in the US with lung cancer. They have applied all. It never worked. They asked for my product. You know, I use combo, but SAPFAT6 must be part of the combo. I sent it to them, and I appealed to the lady, you must take this product for the 4 months. And Madam Sharon, that's the name, he said, I am going to do exactly what you say. And she did. And on the day she visited her doctor, the doctor repeated the scan and said, Madam Sharon, I can report to you that no cancer cells can be seen any longer. And we'll be using this combination for brain cancer, for nose cancer, for cancer of the anus, and for prostate, to the glory of God. And there is a record mark now that we have just cured, a PSA of 1,880 is a record anywhere in the world. My PSA here is supposed to vary between 0 to 4. That's normal. But for somebody to have a PSA of 1,880, that is over-cancerous. And the doctor shouted, how did you achieve this? He told him it's on my medication. And the doctor was pleased. And some people urinate more than 10 to 20 times in the night. Once it comes to that, that is prostate. And once they take my product, in 2 days, the urine comes to 2 or nothing for the night.
All right, assuming you are made a Minister of Health, how will you reconcile the toss?
I'm not working to become a Minister of Health. I'm working to see that Nigerian health
how can you reconcile
stabilizes.
all of this?
It's not difficult to reconcile. bring these effective products, test run them for them, let them see the results. Like as a lawyer, it is said, res ipsa loquitur, meaning the thing will speak for itself. Right. So once it's clear to them beyond reasonable doubt, everybody will join the line.
All right, because of our time, can you tell our audience, tell all of us what we can take, what plants can we take in this season of heat period, at least that can help us?
Take a lot of watermelon, cucumber, oranges, and what have you. They contain over 70% water. And you know the body's physiology, we are made up of over 70 to 80% water. Once you do that, you balance the one you are sweating out, and the electoral system is stabilized, and you are free from all other small issues here and there.
All right, and with the alternative medicine in place, where do you think Nigeria will be economically in the next few years?
We would have gone very, very high, because I know the president loves that kind of thing, and he wants a situation whereby these alternative medicines can be produced. Maybe he's working on some details so that the naira and dollar can stabilize, and we can get starting with projects, infrastructural development, and take our humble place in the Committee of Nations.
All right. And that is the size of our package for today's edition of the program Business and Economy. The analyst has been the Managing Director, African Alternative Medicine Worldwide, Professor Ben AMODU. Professor AMODU is also a pharmacist and a lawyer. Our guest has been a regular guest on this program. So, Doctor, I want to thank you.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
All right. And to everyone out there, we appreciate this edition of Business and Economy. Enjoy the rest of our programming. I am the same.